Alrighty. Well, hey, my friend. So it's a fabulous day, and I'm just delighted to have one of my just beautiful, like this. I adore this client. I love Stephanie. We worked together for a couple years. She's from down under, so you'll get the gorgeous accent. So Stephanie, why don't you introduce yourself? And because today we're gonna take a little bit of time. We're gonna share her journey with you because we're talking about how does one have a dream and a vision and then become the person that gets that. So I'm gonna throw it to you for a second, Stephanie. So tell us what you do. Just and I know that's a really broad question, but just go.
So, the basic one is I'm a psychotherapist, have my own practice. I am also a group fitness and dance instructor, and I also work in network marketing, just selling some whole food supplements as well. So, a few different things there, but that is what I do.
Okay, cool. So right now I'm actually working on a little visibility product, and I'm in a summit, and I one of my talks was it's one thing to get more visibility, but you have to have the identity. So you don't just shift your visibility, you don't just do more. You
Mhm.
literally have to create an identity to match the new thing you're striving for. So when we first started, it's been like 2 years. I
Yeah.
feel like
So
we're
I think
growing
two
up.
is in August.
2 years in August. Oh, anyway, so where were you? Because you were sort of newer as a
Oh
business.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell us where you were.
Yeah, so I think I was in maybe my second year of going into private practice. And I still my books weren't even half full. I've never studied business. I don't like numbers. I loved my job. I knew how to do my job,
Yeah.
but I didn't know anything else. And I had come back from, so I think at that time maybe. I've just finished up my 11 years of teaching group fitness, and I've been dancing since I was 3 and teaching since I was about 14. So, whatever those numbers are, back in 2022, when we first started, I had been doing a lot of that work. And so I knew how to navigate that and grow my business in that. But this was a whole other ball game. So, yeah, I was very much like, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I need money.
That's
I
right. Right.
need money to
Right.
survive. So, help me.
And this is a funny part of our little story. I don't usually take on the newer people, right? And I even said, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't like you're so
I
new.
remember that.
And you just said, you just watch, right?
Yes.
You give me homework, and so your income has doubled, tripled. You now
Yeah. Yeah.
track all the numbers. You like
Yeah.
literally you have like taken this business owner stuff, like you really know how to do it, right?
Yes. Yes. I have an amazing Excel spreadsheet and I'm very proud of it. So,
She's the girl. She's the girl. She tracks all things. So
yeah.
along the way, because a lot, part of what I do is obviously strategy, right? You want to grow your
Mhm.
clients. The first thing we did was we raised her rates. And then we
Yeah.
looked at, what do you keep? What do you toss? Where do you want to go in? What lights you up? And
Yeah.
so I think before, like a lot of people, there's like, well, what should I do next to market?
Hmm.
And one of the things I think we've gotten you to just as exquisite understanding is what lights you up,
Yeah.
right? So talk about like how you started doing workshops and you tested a lot of things. And so instead of this is what I should do, your operating system became, oof, I was praying about this and God showed me that, right? Like, so
Yeah.
talk about that because that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd had this idea from when I first conceived this idea for my business that I wanted to run workshops. I really I knew I liked teaching and educating people. And so I just had these ideas about combining um like psychological concepts and a lot of stuff that I teach my clients with movement, a physical movement that I've learned through my dance and through my group fitness. And for me, like when I would talk to people, usually like my participants in classes, they'd be like, "Oh, I thought you did this full time. You're a psychotherapist. That's so different."
Yeah. Right.
And they would be like, "Oh my gosh, it's everyone was like, it's so different." And I was like, "But it's not." And so
Yeah.
I was like, for me, it doesn't feel wildly different. They actually feel quite similar in a lot of ways. I guess one I'm just dancing and the other one I'm sitting down, but the process is the same, right? And so I thought just combining that, I'd had an experience, many experiences in my life where like the psychological understanding and the physical movement just really complemented each other and really helped me transition through really difficult times and everything like that. And I was like, people need this. So that had been, yeah, planted in my head. And um that's what I knew, right? I don't know how to get it out there.
Right,
I don't
right,
know.
right, right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that was sort of, yeah, a part of that.
So one of the most fun things that I love to do is, so seemingly those are like disparate pieces, right? Like I'm over, and her website was a little, like your
Oh
left
yeah.
was a little all over the place. And we're going to show you her other new website, but it's like part of the work I do and what has just really worked so well for you is the permission to,
Mm,
you didn't have to have two separate websites, right? And you were able to go, these are my two loves and they have to work together and people love them and you started doing it. Okay, but here's the coolest thing. So I call myself the intuitive business mentor. That means I know all the businessy things. I can do all the mentoring. But the intuition piece for me and for my clients, they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't need to know marketing. Pick up your pendulum. Like, tell me that thing, right? Or tune in. What are you getting? And Stephanie is beautifully, beautifully, devoutly Catholic. It's her foundation, her faith, her world. And there was almost like an apology about it, right? Like in the beginning, right? And I was a therapist. You don't talk about your stuff. You don't say, these are my beliefs. This is where I go to church. This is where you're generally taught blank slate, just. And so Stephanie had this world, this very rich world, being in her faith and her congregations and growing there. And I remember this one session, I just kept getting the nudge, and I go, Stephanie, what would it be like to like work with Catholic people or really work in the space of the church or your faith? Do you remember that?
yeah.
It's
I think I
informed
remember
your
my
whole
first day. I
thing.
was like, can I? Like, is that
Right.
allowed?
That. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the identity piece, right? So the identity is Stephanie went from a dance teacher, fitness instructor to woohoo. Now I'm a degreed therapist. Whoa, okay. Okay, got that. Woof. Then it's like, oh crap. Now I got to figure out how to be a business owner. Who am I with that? And now she was getting the business, everything's working in the business. But then this, to me, the soul piece, the God piece, the this is what you're supposed to do in the world piece.
Yeah.
So the first thing is to say yes to it. Because I could have said, this is what's coming through. Imagine you could have said, I don't think it's allowed. And
Mm,
who am I? I'm not a religious life. Like, what do I have? Like, you could have said, whoa, no, scary. Forget it, God. Can't do it. Don't pick me.
yeah.
So, when I think of identity, I think of the thoughts and the beliefs and the actions that form what I consider the identity.
Mhm.
And so, for you, love, what thoughts led to the beliefs and then what actions to get from who me to what we're going to show you in a minute?
Um, oh, okay. So I think two important people. One, always God, and two, you. So it was like getting that. I think what you picked up on was that desire in my heart,
Yes,
which
100%.
was planted by God, right?
Yes, yes,
And so for me, being able to like access that and know, okay, like there is this desire, and then to have you believe in me,
yeah,
and then and go like, well, she can believe in me, like, and God believes in me because He gave this to me. So like, I guess I can do that, and I think it was shifting that, like what you mentioned before, like that permission piece. I think I'm very much like a giver and a people pleaser, and I need to make sure everyone else is good, right? Um, what I forget about is like I need to give myself permission, and I had permission from God and I had permission from you, but I didn't have permission for myself.
right.
And so when I kind of took that step, I think that was the thinking and the beliefs that shifted was like, actually, no, like I can, like I want to. I give myself permission to do it. And that like just, yeah, kind of dropped away a lot of the obstacles because they're all kind of a lot of them are mental. So yeah, it kind of helped shift that and help me step into that new space and through your guidance and your questions and your, really getting into the heart of it. Yeah, it helped me kind of step into that.
That's so good. Okay. I have to share though something. Hold on, I gotta share. So why don't you for a moment? I'm gonna share your website. This is a brand new
Mm.
website, newish, like within a couple months. And I want you to share how you have stepped into working in this way. And I literally have to show you this website. Hold on, you ready? Now this one surprised me. I have to tell you because I basically helped her write the copy on her website.
Yeah.
Lucinda Ray designed it, but we did the copy, and I had no idea this was coming. And when she showed me this, I'm like, international Catholic therapist. What? I mean, that to me, that is claiming it. That
Yeah.
is bold. That just makes my that literally. So
Yeah.
so tell everybody like what do you do and how has this changed from just being, a dance instructor, running some therapy clients on the side? What do you do? How are you involved? And how has it changed you? Because now you hold the identity. Now you're like, it's mine to do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like that's such a big question. What has changed me?
Well,
I
you
think
run
it was
retreats, where you run retreats, you have
yeah, yeah.
classes, you have your own little miss. I mean, like, girl, you know.
I know, I do so much. Like there's so much, I think in that space, like it wasn't just the business stuff that was happening at the same time. Like I was doing a lot more
Mhm.
in my faith, in like you mentioned, like with my congregations, meeting different Catholic people, attending more events. So, I've now got like quite a few priest friends, which is really cool. And so as I was like, my faith was growing, like that was growing, and I was getting more involved in the community. I was deepening my relationship with God, and my business was growing at the same time that those two things. And I was like, I don't believe in coincidences. So, it was just there was more and more affirmation in the world and in my life that this is what I'm supposed to do. And then the reception I was getting when I would talk about it from these people was I was like, "Oh, I didn't expect this. Like I didn't think
Um,
people would love it." And even from, past peers that I'd studied with who are completely not Catholic, maybe don't even have a faith. And when I actually mentioned it to them, and I thought these would be the ones that had shut me down,
yeah,
they're like, "Oh, that's so great. It's so great that you're offering that to like people who need it." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought you would be the one to like kind of
yeah,
exile me." But they could also see that benefit. And I just thought, well, like I'm just getting an overwhelming signs that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel it in my heart. And so when you introduced me to Lucinda Ray, and when I had that meeting with her, and she asked me like, what do you want in that kind of that front banner? What do you want people to see you as? And I was like, well, I'm an international Catholic therapist. One, because like I'm Catholic, and if people come and they want to talk about their faith, and if they're Catholic, like I can help them and I can support them in that. But two, I already have international clients who are Catholic who are seeing me specifically because I'm Catholic. So I was like, I can't deny that. I can't do it. Um, and when I said it, I was like, that feels so right. Like that feels like me. That feels just exactly what God has wanted me to get to. And I think it just had a nice pretty bow
oh my
on like
gosh,
all the work that we've done like to
yeah,
date. I know there's more to come, but there's like
right,
I finally feel like I've just stepped like that I've just stepped into where I'm supposed to be.
beautiful. So this, what you're seeing and hearing, this is embodied. So when I said, hey, I think God wants you to do this, it was like,
Yeah.
and then you have to do thoughts, beliefs, and actions, which create the identity, which is I am that. And then when you
Yeah.
are that, everybody else is like, oh no, she's that. Go to her. And
Yeah.
literally priests call on her, workshop
Yeah.
leaders call on her. People are like, hey, can you partner with me doing like, and this we're not talking 7 years. This is a
Yeah.
year within,
Yeah.
maybe
Would have
less.
been.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not been a long time. That's what I'm saying is to pretty radically shift brands because she
Yeah.
still has her therapy clients, but now she's like, boom. And it's like, it took
Yeah.
off.
Can I say something? Just a little extra thing too.
Yeah, of
I
course.
didn't realize. So when my website went live, it wasn't like a huge big thing and I announced it. Like I didn't actually realize when it had actually gone live. And it was about like 6 p.m., I think, in the evening. And about half an hour later, I hadn't known at this point, and I checked my emails and I had two therapy inquiries. And for the last few months, like, and I think I remember talking to you about it, I'd been getting inquiries, but then I'd reply and I wouldn't get like any response back. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then, like, almost the minute that the website went live and it was like out there, public knowledge, like, I'm owning this, I'm claiming this,
Right.
I was getting inquiries and people were just like, actually, people who had already met me in some way and were just like, I'm going to see you. Like, and they both joined, you know? So
See,
I think it says a lot when you embody who you're
it's
supposed to be.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I just wanted to bring this story to you because this is what it is. And again, did you notice that it wasn't strategy? Like, yes, we did strategy. After we did all this, it's like, okay, what do you got to do? Who do you have to talk to? What workshops can we put on for you? Like, we did the strategy. Strategy follows identity. Because if you have the strategy without the right identity, it'll never fly.
Mhm.
Right. So, oh my gosh. So, if anybody is looking for a Catholic therapist, even though
And
she's in
yeah,
Australia, she's international.
I know.
You can message her, and after this video is over, you can put your contact information in the comment
Yeah,
section.
yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Um, and if you're looking to work on your identity and your visibility, I'm your girl. I'm your girl.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really special. So I hope this inspires you. I really hope it inspires you. And if you're working towards something and you're not getting it or it seems really far away, what I want you to do is really ask yourself, who do I have to be? What's the identity of the person that embodies that? And then you reverse engineer and go, ooh, okay, she thinks this way, she shows up this way, she believes this about herself. Okay, okay. And you work towards it. Or message me and I'll help you. All right, anything else you want to say before we go? Hey?
Um, just that I really don't think I could have done it without you. Like I honestly, like I remember that call, that first call we had, and you're like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, I said, you tell me what to do, and I was like, I will do it. I will do it. And so it doesn't work if you don't do the work.
Yeah.
Like Therese is amazing. And she will tell you what you need to know, and she's very honest, which I love. But if you don't do the work, it doesn't work. So
Right.
thank you for believing in me because that honestly just shifted a lot.
It's a joy. We've had moments where we've kind of cried together about, oh my gosh, look, this is your life. What?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm so proud of you. Thank you for showing up today. Thanks for sharing your story. I'm really glad you're doing your work in the world. You're magnificent.
Oh,
All
thank
right, my
you.
Facebook friends, thank you for watching. Reach out, message Stephanie, and reach out if you need some support with your visibility and your identity. All right, lots of love.